My sister called me a loser at a family dinner while I was literally paying her rent. She said it with a smile like it was just banter. Then she acted shocked when I cut her off and her dream life started falling apart. My parents didn't have college money. They had expectations. The second my younger sister got into her dream school, they started dropping hints straight at me. College is expensive. My mom would sigh, staring at my plate. My dad would nod and say, family takes care of family. Translation, I was the plan. I worked 2 jobs and tried to save for my own future. I still helped because she was my sister. At first it was textbooks and groceries. Then it was rent, utilities, and I need to de-stress, nights out. Every request came with the same line, I'll pay you back when I graduate. She didn't live like someone struggling. She posted fancy dinners and weekend trips like she was sponsored. She'd call me from some rooftop bar and complain about stress while I ate a granola bar in my car between shifts. I paid her bills at 2 a.m. and still got texts like, can you send it today? The late fee is annoying. Anytime I tried to talk about it, my parents shut it down. Don't be bitter, my mom would say. She's building a future. Like my future didn't count. They praised her for existing and treated me like a utility payment. My sister never asked how I was doing. She just asked for more. The turning point was when she announced she wanted to study abroad. She didn't ask if I could afford it. She assumed I would. When I went to my parents hoping they'd finally step up, my mom just said, you'll figure it out. You always do. Then came the dinner that finally snapped something in me. My parents hosted while my sister was home on break. They hovered over her like she was royalty. No one asked me anything. Halfway through, she started talking about the study abroad program again and looked right at me. Hope you're ready for a little extra work, big bro. These programs don't come cheap. I froze. Then I set my fork down. Then I looked at my parents. I said, so you're not even pretending to ask anymore. She laughed. Why would I? You always handle it. I said, get a part-time job. She waved me off. I'm too busy with school. My dad stayed silent. My mom stayed silent. They waited for me to swallow it. I asked, do you have any idea what I've been doing? She rolled her eyes. Here we go. The martyr routine. Then she snapped, loud and casual. You're just bitter because your life isn't going anywhere. The table went dead quiet. My chest got tight. I didn't yell. I leaned forward and said, my life isn't going anywhere because I've been funding yours. My mom jumped in fast. That's inappropriate. My dad added, it's your job to support her. I laughed once. My job is working 2 jobs. Your job was parenting. I stood up. I'm done paying. Rent, utilities, tuition, all of it. My sister's face strained. You can't do that. I grabbed my jacket and said, watch me. I left, and the next morning my phone exploded. My sister went from snarky texts to guilt trips to panic. My parents rotated between crying and raging. They kept repeating, you're tearing the family apart, like the family wasn't already tearing me apart. A week later, her landlord called me. She had told him I was the one paying, and he wanted to know why the payment didn't go through. I said, she's your tenant, not my dependent, and hung up. 2 days after that, she showed up at my apartment looking wrecked, like the confidence had finally run out. You can't cut me off, she said. I didn't move. I did. She whispered, I'm going to lose my place. I said, then get a job, budget, move home, do something. She switched to anger. You're cruel. Family helps family. I said, family doesn't leech for years and call you a loser at dinner. She tried the last move, tears. I didn't mean it. I said, you meant the part where you used me. Then I closed the door. After that, my parents took her in and blamed me for everything. Months later, they called again, this time panicking because she'd run up a credit card in their name for another shopping spree. They begged me to fix it, like I was still the family's emergency fund. I said, no, you built this. Now live in it. She tried to spin it online with vague posts about betrayal. I told one friend I paid her rent and she called me a loser. The sympathy dried up fast. I started saving again. Peace felt expensive, but worth it. I learned, love doesn't come with an invoice.